There are a number of software packages that offer mapping, but as illustrated in this video, a big advantage of the BigPicture add-in is that its topics can contain live cell links to Excel data. This means that you can perform simple or complex calculations in Excel with standard Excel formulas, and then create a map where the topic labels are linked to the Excel calculations. Each link can be to a single cell or to multiple cells. This not only populates the topics quickly, but it allows the topic labels to change dynamically if inputs to the calculations change. I will illustrate this capability with an example of travel costs on a European trip. In this example, the calculations are quite straightforward. Each blue cell contains an input that can be changed. For example, look at the train section. There are 3 people in the group making 3 train trips, although I could change the number of people to 4 or any other number. The cost per person in the local currencies are listed in blue. These are multiplied by the exchange rates in the top blue cells to get the cost per person in dollars. Each total cost in the next row is the cost per person multiplied by the number of persons, and the total train cost is the sum over the individual train trips. The hotel costs are slightly more complicated. The table to the right lists the cost per day depending on the number of people booking the room or rooms. Then an index function is used to get the relevant rates per day from this table depending on the number of people. The details aren't crucial for this video. The point is that the results that will eventually be linked to the map can result from complex calculations. Besides train and hotel costs, there are also airfare costs, entrance fees, costs of meals, costs of purchases, and these eventually lead to the total cost of the trip. Of course, like most Excel spreadsheets, changes to the blue input cells can lead to changes in the results. For example, I will change one of the exchange rates slightly, and you can see how many of the costs change. Now I will build a map on the left and show how it can link to the calculations on the right. I will begin by turning on BigPicture's Auto Arrange and Single Expand buttons. This isn't absolutely necessary, but it leads to a nicely arranged map. The first topic, the route, will show the total cost of the trip. To create a linked label, the trick is to right-click the topic, select Label, and drag the cell or cells to be linked to. Throughout this map, the labels will not just contain numbers, they will also contain descriptive text. For this first topic, the link will be to the label cell and the cost cell. Next, I will create topics out of the root topic for the hotel and train costs, and I will create links to the relevant cells for their total costs. To save time, I won't create topics for the airfare and other costs, but they would be similar. Next, I will create 3 topics out of the train topic, one for each train trip. Their links will be multi-cell ranges for displaying plenty of information. I will choose the labels and the associated data. I'll resize this to make it look nicer. Labels and data. Labels and data. I could continue in the same way for the hotel costs, but you should be able to see the pattern by now. Of course, you could now resize or recolor or remove any of the topics to suit your taste. Importantly, the cell links in the topics are live. This means that if any of the blue inputs on the right change, not only do the calculated cells change, but the results in the topics change as well. For example, watch how the total trip cost and some of the train costs in the map change when I change the dollar to euro exchange rate. This is truly a dynamic map. In summary, the majority of your maps will probably contain static labels, the kind where you type never-changing text for the topic labels. But for situations where you want the information in topics to change dynamically as calculations in another part of the spreadsheet change, BigPicture offers a unique advantage over other mapping software. And as you just saw in this video, the linking is extremely easy to implement.